All right, welcome to today's Video Guys News Day Tuesday. Special show today with a special guest. That's right, we've got Mike Vanoverbeke. Did I get it right?
Vanoverbeke. It was very close.
Vanoverbeke, very
Yeah.
close, is here. He's from a company called SecureData. They have SecureDrives, and I want to talk about this. And if we could just cut to the camera on the spinning units quickly, guys. All right, one of the things that we've gotten a lot of requests for over the years is people want their data to be able to be secure. The concern is that, hey, I lost my hard drive, or I have these real important files and I'm trying to win a client and I've got this video image and the guy can't FTP it. I got to get it to him. I got to ship it to him, whatever. And I want to make sure that no matter what, no one else can read what's on it. So what this company has come out with is a series of drives that are accessible through either keypad or actually through an app that could be on a phone, as in the Android that's right here. So we're going to go into that in detail a little bit. But one of the things I want to talk about with Mike, the reason we brought Mike in is because I think security is one of those things we all take for granted. We all think we're going to put everything up on the cloud and it's going to be safe forever. But the truth of the matter is whether you're making video content, spreadsheets you run your company, your backups, sometimes you need to know that something is secure and you're the only one who can get to it. And we've heard that from a lot of our customers. And Mike, I know you guys have too, because you started a whole company over it. So tell us a little about what you do for SecureData and kind of the history.
SecureData started actually as a data recovery service company. And we've been doing that for about 15 years. And basically, the idea to come up with these drives came from, we had people in regulated industries contacting us, wanting to do data recovery. And then we needed to send their data back on a hard drive that was secure. And at the time, we were doing software encryption on just a regular hard drive. But we realized that that is a little bit more difficult. So we really wanted to come up with something that was much easier to use, that was user-friendly and operating system independent. So it can work on any device. It works on any computer as well as any other device like medical equipment or TVs, projectors, things like that.
Right.
What I've been doing at the company is basically everything with the hard drives. I came into the company basically as a product specialist. So I do a little bit of everything, but a lot of research on these drives and just basically help develop them.
All right. I'd like us to bring up this slide full screen a little bit because I think it's important, and we don't have to dwell on it for too long, but you're not just a secure drive that's password protected. You're actually got military grade encryption and patented technology and something called FIPS 140-2 and 256. So tell me why this stuff matters, because there's a bunch of Chinese drives coming in that have a keypad on them that people think are the same thing, and it's not even close.
Yeah, you're exactly right. So that FIPS certification is everything. Basically, we send our drives out to a government facility for them to test by the government for over a year's time. And they test various different functions, basically the entire drive in terms of how it works, all the way to physical breakage. Can I physically break into this and get the data? So we have a FIPS, like you said, FIPS 140-2 level 3 validation. And quite frankly, as far as the government is concerned, you need that certification in order for the government to purchase these types of items. So all the way from that to healthcare to even just your business's normal documents. Basically, since we have this certification, it's ensured that this is military grade encryption. It's hardware encrypted, AES XTS 256-bit. It's the best encryption that you could get technologically possible.
So if you are a company that works with the military or government agencies, this is a no-brainer. If you're an individual who just wants to have the most secure possible portable data solution, it's a no-brainer. And what I've got to stress is just because something has a keypad on it or it says you can unlock it on its phone doesn't make it truly secure and encrypted. You guys have taken this to a whole nother level, and I want to keep reinforcing this in the show because there's a lot of cheap knockoffs up there that do not do what these drives do. So what I'd like to do now is we can roll a little video we put together that is our product spotlight. We ran this, I think about a month ago. I want to run that again, a little bit of that, and it's just a little glamour shot, glamour piece about the product category of the product.
SecureData's SecureDrive BT and SecureUSB BT drives make it easy for you to protect all of your sensitive data and keeps files safe with secure wireless authentication via mobile device. The SecureDrive BT and SecureUSB BT feature FIPS certified military-grade 256-bit hardware encryption and patented data lock technology. The military-grade encryption and security features ensure you will have no more data leaks and are perfect for regulated industry, including government, medical, and legal use. If an unauthorized user attempts to unlock the drive unsuccessfully 10 times, it will be crypto erased. They are compatible with all operating systems with no drivers to install. They are also the only drives that can be unlocked easily via your mobile device with SecureData's exclusive data lock technology for both iPhone and Android devices. Simply swipe once to lock and unlock your drive.
Very cool. The next slide. First of all, that was such a great video, guys. I got to give compliments to Oliver and Adam. I don't even think we don't even need to do a webinar at this point. I mean, they nailed it. But we've got you, so we're going to go into it. You guys talk about protect, backup, recover, analyze, no more data leaks. It's some great buzzwords. Talk about why data lock is different. What is behind your technology that separates it from other people who claim to be secure and encrypted?
Yeah, so the main thing, especially with the SecureDrive BTs, is that it's the only hardware encrypted drive in the world that uses a mobile device in order to unlock it. So there's plenty of software encryptions out there and even some other hardware encrypted devices, but when it comes to the SecureDrive and SecureUSB BT, it's a truly unique device with a lot of different unique security features built into it, such as, which we'll go over, but two-factor authentication, password retrieval, and remote wipe and things like that. So it's really unique, and quite frankly, there's no other device out there that gives that level of the security that we have.
And just for people to understand, when the drives have a BT at the end, that's Bluetooth. It means it works with your device. And when it has KP, it means keypad, which is still a great level of security, and we'll go into that. But I think the thing we really want to talk about is the data lock technology with these drives. So you know what? Before we even get into it, why don't we do the demo, guys? Can we do that? All right, so we set up a camera here so I can show you just how easy it is to use this product. If you look, you can see on this device it's flashing red, which means it's locked. And over here I have my SecureData app, which I'm going to show you over there. Now I'm going to go open it up, and I'm going to put my super secret password in there. Oh boy, look at that. I didn't get that password right. It says I have 9 other attempts. Now, I guess I'll ask this question because I'm a glutton for punishment. What happens if I screw this up 9 more times?
Yeah, so if you do it 10 times consecutively, all the contents in the drive get crypto erased. So it's called brute force anti-hacking, and it's just to protect you from somebody trying to guess your password.
Cool, and if you could hear that, you heard the little bing, bing, bing that it found the drive, and now you can see that this has the green light on it, so we can get to our data. And at that point, we're going to go back to the presentation. I want to show you, well, no, I want to show something else. Let's go back. Now, this will lock itself if left to its, if it sees that there's no one doing anything, moving any stuff, it'll lock itself. And for me to lock it, all I have to do is press the button, right?
You're going to swipe to the left.
And I'm locked.
There it is.
Beautiful, a thing of beauty. So now let's pick up the, what do you want to talk about first? You want to talk about multi-factor authentication? I think that's really cool.
Yeah, let's talk about that, and especially because it's a total unique feature to this product. So basically how it works is that once you enable it, it has you enter in a mobile device phone number. And then every time you go to unlock it, you have to enter in your PIN number or password, and then you get a special code sent to your mobile device that you register, and that's part of the two-factor authentication. And we do it via SMS text message because that's safer than doing email or other forms of messaging.
I am a huge fan of dual-factor authentication to your mobile device via text. I have like our accounting system, my bank accounts, and other things set up to do that because in this world of security, people find ways to get stuff. I mean, maybe you saw my little hack, maybe you read the buttons when I hit them over here to get into ours. With the dual factor authentication, which we didn't put on for this demo, I would then get prompted, what's the PIN that was sent, and I'd have to enter that PIN. That's amazing. That's a true level of encryption that's makes me feel a lot safer. I don't know about you.
Right, yeah, absolutely. It's a great feature, and like you said, people, when it's available to them, they will use it. Whether it's with email or various accounts, if it's made available and it's easy to use, it's kind of a no-brainer.
All right, let's talk about the other one I like, because I'm using it on a lot of my stuff, the fingerprint authentication. I started using that on my phone, and I love it. I feel I can use my financial apps so much easier, and I'm always worried someone's going to steal my phone and cut off my finger because I watch too many, Mission Impossible movies. But, it's a cool thing. And talk about that. That must have been a lot of work for you guys to tap into that technology, too.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I totally agree with you. First off, I use my Touch ID for absolutely everything that I can. It's so easy. But, that's something that we added for not just security, but ease of use. Like I mentioned earlier, that a lot of other solutions will be software-based. So then you have to put some sort of password or PIN number directly into your computer. Whereas if you're doing something like that, not only is it kind of annoying, you have to remember another password, but also it leaves you susceptible to keyloggers, people trying to steal your password on your computer. Whereas not only for security, but mainly also for ease of use. You don't have to remember a password. I don't know about you, but I have to remember like 15 passwords throughout the day. I don't need that anymore.
Exactly. Then the other thing is I had a question for you, and I'm sorry that I didn't know this information beforehand. If I have an Apple Watch, do I need my iPhone too with me to unlock, or can I unlock directly from my Apple Watch?
So you'll still need your phone to be around, because due to the nature of the technology for the Apple Watch currently, essentially everything that you're communicating from your Apple Watch goes through the mobile device.
Okay.
So the mobile device needs to be within Bluetooth range.
Cool. Any other of the key things on this graph you want to go over a little bit?
I can just quickly touch. I mean, cross-platform compatibility is a big thing. It'll work on any device. That's very important. It's software free. It works on every device. Cool. That would be the main thing.
Now let's go specifically into the Secure BT drives, which, this is the one we have right here that's locked over here. Now, it's got drive security antivirus. What made you put an antivirus on these drives? What was the impetus behind that?
Yeah, well, I mean, just like anything else, just if you're loading files onto a computer, you want to make sure that that device that you're putting the files onto is going to stay safe. So this is antivirus for the drive itself. So if you accidentally are loading some sort of files onto the drive, and there's basically a heuristic algorithm built in that will scan everything, and if the drive finds anything malicious, it essentially won't let it onto the drive so that it can't affect all the other information.
Cool. And then let's talk a little bit about the unique password recovery and remote wipe option. I'm a big fan of the remote wipe option. I lost the drive. Yeah. It's something important on it. I'm writing off that I lost the data. I just want to make sure no one else can get to it. You guys can clean that drive out.
It's easily, in my opinion, it's my favorite feature. It's one of the best ones. It's totally unique to our device. Yeah, so like you said, essentially, just recently, actually, I got out of an Uber and I left my secure USB on the seat. It fell out of my pocket. Now, luckily, I ended up grabbing it, but if I didn't, we have one of the only devices in the world that I could take my phone right out, punch in a code, and the next time somebody tries to use the secure USB, all the information is crypto erased.
Cool. Now, these are available in as physical hard drives, spinning hard drives, and SSDs as well, correct?
Right, yeah, we have them ranging in capacities from 250 gig SSDs all the way up to 8 terabyte SSDs. And like you said, both mechanical and solid state.
Cool. Now, what I find, I always like to give my customers my sweet spot drive recommendation. And when your drive family, and I've got the price, but I really think the 4 terabyte for $409, that's $100 a terabyte. I think that's the sweet spot drive, for this category. I understand that, it's $400, but I want to know, the last thing I want to do is have this great secure file system and be running out of space on it because I moved some video files on and now I have to take stuff off. I want to know that I got a big bucket of secure data. And I think 4 terabytes is a great sweet spot for that.
Yeah, I would agree. And, quite frankly, all of our drives, they're priced very competitively. And I know your customers will enjoy that.
Cool. And then we also have it available in the stick, which is the BT stick, which I have up here. And this is something that's kind of cool also because I'm going to show you guys how small this is. Can we cut to this? And this is really a small little USB stick, and there's a lot of technology in there, which is super cool because I'm going to get all that same level of encryption and security that I get with the big drive on this little drive. Why is this important? Because maybe it's something you need to have on your keychain. You just got to move a little bit of files with you all the time. In the video space, yeah, you know, I got to admit, 64 gigabytes is going to be a little tough. I'll fill that up, you know, with nothing. But let's just say I'm used to security stuff. I want to keep my most important spreadsheets, my vital backup of some information. Or maybe it's some particular pictures that are very important to me that I need to keep secure, what have you. I love the idea of the secure stick. I like the secure stick that's by the phone more than the one with the buttons because the buttons are just so small, to be honest with you. I'm a big guy with fat fingers, what can I tell you? But once again, the other thing that I don't think we talked about with the BTs, we're going to get into a little more, is remote management ready. What is remote management?
Yeah, great question. So this is definitely more for corporate use, but you know, imagine at your company everybody has to have a company issued flash drive. Well, if it's just a regular unprotected flash drive, obviously that's going to leave you to all kinds of bad things that could potentially happen. But if you're using one of our drives, basically you can have one person or multiple people at your company take over as an admin and essentially choose where a drive can be opened via geofencing, GPS-based geofencing, when it can be opened with time fencing, and who can open it. So you can basically restrict access to the drive on those different things, as well as be able to remotely wipe and remotely unlock the drives. So basically just having oversight and total control over all of your company's data.
So let's talk about this. I could have a 200, for under 200 bucks, 189, a 64 gigabyte one of these drives. I can have a company where, let's say I'm a bunch of lawyers, and I want all the lawyers to be able to bring their work home to their home office. And let's say I have 2 offices in New York, and I have another office in Dallas. I can set up not only that this drive is secure, but I can set up the only way I can open my drive is in one of the 3 offices, geofencing, or my home. If I try to open this up, even if I have all the right information, it will not open, correct?
Yeah, that is correct. So essentially, you said it exactly right. The admin picks an exact place within as little as a 300-foot radius of a location up to an entire continent. You can restrict it by.
That's incredible. And that is something that's strictly available with the Bluetooth versions, correct? We're going to go to the KP ones, the keypad ones, which are still great, but they don't have that added level of management utility, which, once again, for video production, I don't know that that's so important, but for people who want secure data, medical, legal, military, high-end education, you know, research labs, people like that, to me, this is super cool. Let's go into the KP drives, which use the keypad, which is still very effective, and go into the security that those offer, and what's different than, what don't you get because you don't have the Bluetooth?
Yeah, so it's just there's not as wide a range as features, because with the Bluetooth devices, you're using your mobile device, there's an app interface, there's a lot of different things that you can do. But with the keypad, you just have the keypad, there's no other devices that you have to use, and there's features like read-only mode, there's an inactivity auto lock, you can have a separate admin and user pin. So there's definitely plenty of features built directly into this, just not quite as many as the Bluetooth device.
Explain to me a little bit more about read-only mode.
Yeah, so basically, you know, let's say that we're sharing this drive between each other and I'm the admin. So I can set it in read-only mode and give it to you, and that will disable you from being able to make any changes on the documents on the drive. Now, that doesn't stop you from copying these documents onto your host computer and making any changes. Unfortunately, there's just no possible way to really avoid that without having software on each individual host computer.
Right.
But it does prevent from any changes happening on the drive.
I think that's cool, especially for legal and medical. You know, so you know that is secure, and it's been, I guess you could almost chain of ownership, you know, for legal purposes and things like that. You know, it could be controlled. And I just think there's a whole level of data that's going to come into this world like a bang, you know, with these clouds and our stuff. I'm not going to say the clouds, but you hear all the time about some big company's database that you're in gets hacked, and is your password information, what information is out of there? I mean, they find the target information, they don't get my credit card, and they just know how much Pringles my wife buys there. I don't really care. But by the same regards, when you're starting to get into legal and medical issues, that's where, you can use the cloud at a secure level, but that increases the cost of your cloud storage astronomically. So having that secure level now on a portable device like this, I just think it opens up the world to stuff that goes far beyond video. But we just think it's such a great product. We wanted to bring it on the show because we do have videographers who are making like that one-of-a-kind documentary they got to transfer, cross-country, or their raw footage out in the field. They just want to make sure they are the only person in the world who has access to that video until they're ready to share it.
Right. And you know what? You said it earlier, basically, is that, yes, the cloud has improved, the security of the cloud has improved, but at the end of the day, there's never going to be anything as secure as having one of these external devices with its own hardware encryption built into it. And like you said about videographers, one great thing, I'll harp on it again about these drives, is that they'll work with any device that supports USB mass storage. So you can literally plug this directly into a camera if your camera supports it, and you can transfer that data just like that.
And you've got the SSDs as well, which I think is cool. To be honest with you, I would like to see a USB-C or Thunderbolt 3 if I'm going to go SSD for that throughput. But still, I guess the cool thing is if I had a program, if I was a programmer, I could have a program I could put on that and run the program off the SSD, kind of debugging and making sure it doesn't get out in the wild or whatever I'm going to do. So we're pulling up the pricing here. We can pull it up full page. The hard drive versions, $285. Once again, 4 terabyte at $399 is a sweet spot. I like the fact that I can get a 1 terabyte SSD for about $500. It's $559, but you're in that ballpark. And I think you guys have done a real good job here. And once again, you don't want to go too small on the storage, but you also don't want to spend twice the storage you need, because as you get to the maximum sizes, as with any hard drive technology, the price per terabyte, the price per gigabyte tends to go up. But if you really need 8 terabytes, it's worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the best part, is that we're very flexible. We have a large different amount of capacity, so it doesn't really matter what you're looking for. We'll be able to have it for you.
Right. Now this one, let's cut to this one now. This is the KP version of the stick. Here's the stick. You open it up. It's shielded. This is a nice little metal. I like it, the feel of it. And then you've got the keypad that you can hit your buttons on to get into it. Let's talk about this one a little bit, because once again, I think this is a real novel product for some markets that'll really love it.
Yeah, so one thing that I would have meant when what I want to mention about both of the USB flash sticks is that they're IP57 certified. So not only do those cases look cool, but it makes them water resistant and dust resistant. So that's an important thing. And then additionally, with the keypad USB, it has all the same functionality, but you mentioned earlier how the buttons are smaller, so it's kind of harder to push those. Well, what we did is we put a battery, built-in battery into this device. It's the only one out of our SecureDrive family that has a built-in battery. So that basically enables you to unlock the drive before having to plug it into your computer. Say if your desktop is underneath your desk and it's hard to get to, you can unlock it, plug it back in. Initially what that does is that, but also it makes the drive bootable. So if you're trying to boot from a flash stick, you can unlock it, plug it in, and you can boot your OS right from the secure USB.
So that's pretty interesting for a military type high-end research where they want top security like that. And I do love the fact that I can hit the unlock first with that battery inside, because I found when I put it into the side of the laptop, just for a big clunky fat guy like me, it just wasn't easy. I felt I was going to break stuff, so worked out well. Let's go over the pricing on these sticks. The 8 gigs, $89. The 64 is $175. I think the 32 gigabyte at $145 is the sweet spot on it. But you're welcome to draw your own conclusion, Mr. Consumer. At $30 more for a 64 gigabyte, why not? So good product, solid product. We love it. Now, remote management access. We got into this a little bit on what it was. Now talk about, like, if I was a corporation who was interested in this, what's it going to cost me? What's involved to do it?
Yeah, so what's really cool about it, actually, especially compared to competitors, is that you can add remote management to a SecureDrive or SecureUSB BT at any time. Whereas with other competing products, you actually have to say ahead of time, and they give you specific hardware for it. But like I said, with our drives, you can contact us at any time to get that additional add-on. It's basically just a subscription license, and the admin of the company goes ahead and takes care of everything. He'll set everything up. Of course, we're available for help, but it's one of the unique features about it that you can add it at any time.
Cool, and we got a little video you guys put together on it, so let's roll that video now.
SecureData introduces remote management for specific SecureDrive devices. In order to make sure that the Bluetooth drives could be remotely managed, the administrator must configure them using the DataLock Admin mobile app. No special software on the admin's computer is required to access the remote management console. You'll only need a browser. The admin can select any managed device from the list, and then, for example, remotely erase information from it, change the user password, or even allow the device to be unlocked one time without entering the password. The remote management also allows the admin to set where and when a user can work with the device. Information on the drive can be made accessible only in a specified place at a specified time. Location will be determined by GPS coordinates of a mobile phone, which is used to unlock the drive. When you leave the permitted zone, access will be lost. The admin will also be able to see when, from where, and who attempted to log into a particular drive. Even if the SecureDrive Bluetooth and SecureUSB Bluetooth devices are thousands of miles away from your office, with remote management, you still have control of access to information on the devices in your hands.
All right, Mike, I want to thank you for a great webinar. And one of the things I want to stress here is that whether you're buying it through Videoguys or another company out there, you're buying these drives for, these guys have great support. They have great pre-sale support too. So if your organization is really hung up on the encryption and security level, shoot us an email, give these guys a call. They're happy to tell you how secure and how encrypted they are because they're bragging about it. They're better than anyone else. And I dare you to stump them. If it's in the security realm, they know about it. And if they don't have it now, I'm sure their engineers in the back room are working on it. So Mike, thank you very much for coming on the show. And once again, securing your data. The world is about data. Data is the most valuable thing in the world. When you're on social media, you are actually the data for social media. Remember that. So beware what you're browsing. But most importantly, know that you could take 100% control of your data with a secure drive so that no one else in the world can get to it unless you want them to have access to it. So Mike, thank you very much. Great products, great company. Thanks for coming on the show. And now we're going to take you off and we're going to talk about some of the stuff we have on upcoming shows. So thanks, Mike. Any final words?
Thanks, Gary. No, thank you for having me. And any questions, I'm always around.
Cool. All right, we got some future shows coming up, guys. The first thing on the list, I'll believe it when I see it. I don't know when we're going to see these live use solo bundles. I think it's going to be cool. It's really earth-shattering stuff that's going to really be exciting for people, but we don't have the information on it. Telestream Wirecast product. We've hinted about some new gear, some new stuff coming from Wirecast. We're really excited about it. And then also, BirdDog is a real leader in NDI. We talk about NDI technology all the time. BirdDog Central Pro, managing NDI workflows. And they've got some firmware for the minis and the studios that have got, this NDI. They're leading the way. We love the guys at BirdDog, and we can't wait for that BirdDog show. We're going to try to bring in someone from Australia again, but it's kind of unfair because I think we learned last time it's 3 in the morning or 4 in the morning now for those guys. But you know what? They're great guys. They're troopers, and maybe one of them will be somewhere closer to the United States Eastern time zone for when we bring them in. But I want to thank you guys. Today's show was a really great show about your data, securing your data, the secure data products. Can we cut to the spinning drives one last time while I go over some stuff? These drives are great drives. They're they're so rock solid. You can use them by Bluetooth. You can use them by keypad. Whichever you prefer to secure your data. In the world today, data is king, and you own your data, and this is a way to protect your data as well. So I'm a big fan of that. So guys, thank you for tuning into the show. Videoguys Newsday Tuesday. You give us 25, 30 minutes. We're going to teach you about new technologies, new video editing, video streaming, video production, video storage. Today's show was about storage. It's more than video. It's about secure storage and secure data. So thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions about these products, give us a call, 800-323-2325. More information on our website. And remember, guys, please, I'm going to do the plea that I always do at the end of the show. Like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our blog articles, and share them on your own social media. Help us get the word out about these technologies. It helps us, it helps you, it helps the industry. So this is Gary from Videoguys. Peace.
Videoguys is available Monday through Friday.
I think we...
Give us a call at 1-800-323-2325. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram to stay connected with all of our updates. And you can like us on Facebook. Keep an eye out for our live videos, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.